Hello, Dragons, and welcome back to KFTV Season 5, Episode 13. I'm Mackenzie Fernandez, and I'm here with
Paige Cummings. In today's episode, we hope to make you laugh a lot with a joke box, a race between two of our favorite people, our friends picking their outfits for the day, and some of our normal segments like weather, birthdays, and much more.
It's time for birthdays. Let's give a shout out to the following Dragons with a birthday between March 12th and March 17th.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday.
I hope everyone had a good birthday.
Me too. It's time to turn on our brains and think a little.
Can you guess what segment it is? It's the mystery!
Let's check it out.
Hi, I'm Christopher Newman, and this is this week's Estimate Mystery. Today you will be seeing how many staff members work at Feickert.
Clue 1, the answer is an even number.
Make a guess.
Clue 2, it is more than 20 but less than 100.
Adjust your answer if needed.
Clue 3, the answer is a composite number.
Keep thinking.
Clue 4, the answer can be divided by 11.
You think you got it?
If you get 66, you are correct. Have a good day. Back to you at the studio.
Wow, that was a hard one. Thank you to all our teachers who help us get smarter every day.
Now that our brains are turned on, we're going to look at a new segment that we created, and it has to do with Miss Feickert. Our school was named after Miss Feickert, and we want you, Dragons, to learn more about her with a fun game of trivia.
Along with this game of trivia, we will show you an interview that Paige had with Mrs. Feickert's son, Hans. He will provide some fascinating information about the Feickert farm and Miss Feickert.
Let's take a look at our trivia. Welcome to Miss Ellen Feickert Trivia. Trivia question number 1. What year do you think Miss Feickert was born? A, 1918, B, 1924, or C, 1922? Ready? If you guessed C, 1922, you are correct. Trivia question number 2. What year do you think Miss Feickert died? A, 1971, B, 1984, C, 1977? Ready? If you guess C, 1977, you are correct. Trivia question number 3. If you did the math, how old would Miss Feickert have been when she died? A, 51, B, 54, or C, 62? What do you think? If you guess B, 54, you are correct. Trivia question number 4. What do you think were some of the things Miss Feickert enjoyed doing in her free time? A, write, B, read, or C, sing? Make a guess. If you guess B, read, you are correct. Trivia question number 5. How many siblings do you think Miss Feickert had? A, 11, B, 7, or C, 3? Think. If you guessed A, 11, you are correct. Trivia question number 6. How many children do you think Miss Feickert had? A, 2, B, 6, or C, 4? Ready? If you guessed A, 2, you are correct. Trivia question number 7. What do you think some of Miss Feickert's jobs were? A, vet and doctor, B, banker and teacher, or C, computer teacher and librarian? Make a guess. If you guessed B, banker and teacher, you are correct. Trivia question number 8. When Miss Feickert died, there was a special ceremony. Where do you think it was held? A, Feickert School, B, the bank, or C, the Feickert farm? What do you think? If you guessed C, the Feickert farm, you are correct. Trivia question number 9. How many years do you think Miss Feickert taught? A, 6, B, 13, or C, 10? Think. If you guess B, 13, you are correct. Now for Mr. Hans Feickert trivia, son of Ellen. Trivia question number 1. What time do you think Mr. Feickert got up to milk the cows? A. 6:15, B. 5:30, or C. 3:30? Think. If you guess C, 3:30, you are correct. Trivia question number 2. How many milking cows do you think there were? A. 130, B. 52, or C. 76? Last one. If you guessed A, 130, you are correct. That's it for trivia. Back to you guys in the studio.
That was fun. We hope we can keep doing fun segments like trivia. If you have any other ideas of segments, please let us know.
So Paige, since we are the Feickert Dragons, the field reporters would like to show the Dragons a game called Don't Get Spiked.
Let's take a look.
Let's play Don't Get Spiked!
Today we have a special guest, Spike!
Here are some of the rules.
Make sure to stay on the lines.
There has to be a person standing on each corner of the 4-square court and one dragon in the middle.
Spike is going to count his dragon head to 10 and then roar.
Now let's explain how your players in Dragon win.
Spike loses when he is cornered by 3 people.
Spike wins when everyone is tagged and no one is moving.
Now, let's show a quick video of how each opponent wins.
This is an example of how the players win.
This is an example of how Spike wins.
Oh no, I got spiked.
Oh no, I got spiked!
Oh no, I got spiked!
Oh no, I got spiked!
Always remember to have good sportsmanship.
Well, the thing's coming. Wait, it's just holding it. Good game. Good job. How do you always win?
That game was so fun. My friends and I will for sure be playing that at recess. Wish Spike could play with us each recess too.
Now that we're in the Dragon Spirit, we want to show you all our weather. We have a surprise reporter new to our KFTV Dragon News team.
Spike, they don't understand dragon. I'll say it for you. Hi, I'm Spike. Welcome to the weather for this week. It could possibly rain a little bit, but other than that, it should be mostly sunny with cloud cover. The highs should be in the mid-50s and the lows in the mid-30s. I'm so ready for it to be summer and do a swim. What about you? Spike says he's so excited for summer and to put on his swim trunks and be able to play with his dragon friends. Well, that's it for the weather. Have a nice day. Back to you in the studios.
Spike, you're always welcome to be a part of our news team, and you Dragons, make sure to keep warm and stay dry.
It's time to switch gears and have some real fun with an intense race between some of our 2 favorite mascots, Spike and a banana.
Let's take a look at this awesome and intense race. It's time for the Dragon Banana Race!
The dragon and the banana are going to go for the prize, the really big pencil.
On your marks, get set, go! Dragon wins! You won the prize! The winner is Spike! Bye, Dragons! Wow, that was a close race, but in the end, Spike took the victory.
Now that we're in a silly mood, we also made another silly segment about Feickert students getting ready for the day and picking out our outfits. This segment is very funny, so make sure to hold on to your hats and let out your laughs.
Time to go pick my clothes.
Time to go pick my clothes.
Morning, sis.
Let's go pick our clothes for school.
Oh my gosh, our clothes are so ugly.
Ugh.
Oh my gosh, our clothes are so ugly.
Yeah, what are we supposed to do now?
I don't know. What should we wear?
I have an idea. There's a box in the garage with all the old stuff in it.
Let's go look.
We got it.
Let's look.
I think we look pretty spectacular.
Me too. Let's go do our hair.
Yeah. I think we look pretty awesome.
Yeah, definitely.
Let's rock this day.
That was very funny. I think we need to give them some fashion advice though.
As we talked about earlier in the video, our reporter, Paige Cummings, was able to visit with Mrs. Feickert's son.
That's right. Mr. Feickert graciously met with our team on a rainy Friday afternoon, and we talked a bit about the Feickert family farm and his mom, Ellen Feickert.
Let's take a look.
Hi, my name is Paige Cummings, and today I'm sitting here with Mr. Feickert, the son of Ellen Feickert. How are you today, Mr. Feickert?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you?
Good. Can you tell us where we are today?
Well, we're on the historic Feickert farm. It's been here quite some number of years, and it's been here over 100 years as of 2020.
Give us a brief history of the farm in relation of your family.
Well, in 20 words or less, probably. The farm evolved into a dairy farm at its, more or less, you might call it a peak or classic period when most of the activity happened here. However, it was founded by my grandparents who had combined families. Each of them had previous spouses, and then they together had children. So it was a his, hers, and ours family, and that they practiced diversified agriculture, and eventually that means a lot of different things being grown and raised, and then eventually they switched over to dairy production.
Very fascinating. So, are there any original buildings still here on this farm?
Actually, there is one that probably is 120 years old at least. In part, you might imagine after that many years, things get repaired and a lot of things change.
Yep. So, how many buildings are on the farm?
Well, there's too many to take care of primarily, but about 13. To start off, there's 4 units of housing, houses. The principal building, of course, on a dairy farm is a dairy barn where the cows are milked or taken care of. There are also hay storage barns, machinery storage barns, and chicken barn, because they don't like to be out in the rain and the sun very much. And they tend to fly off anyway if you don't contain them. Then the oldest building on the place is probably 125 years old or more. Wow. It has square nails in it, which are pretty unusual, and it was in the form of a California barn, which has a broken roof line. In other words, it has a V on both sides, and that's unusual for California because here we don't have, in this part of California, we don't have a lot of snow to worry about. So it's possible to build such a barn without it falling down immediately the first year.
Yeah.
And that's this barn in particular. Excuse me, go ahead. Shall we keep rolling? This old barn was actually a granary, and which is to say that grain was stored in it, along with a certain amount of equipment, I suspect. But originally here, one of the principal crops in the late 1800s was wheat, and it had to be stored and protected from rodents and insects to some degree, I suppose.
Okay. So our viewers go to Feickert Elementary School, which is right across the street. Can you tell us how the school got named after your mom?
Well, and simply put, my dad had given 5 acres of land for the school site. I always thought that Elk Grove was a long ways from here when it was a small town 1.5 miles away. And I thought it would be a lot easier to go to school if it was right here on the farm.
Yeah.
And beside from that, my mom taught for the Elk Grove Unified School District for about 13 years.
Very nice. So can you tell us like what your mom was like?
She had she was actually a PK. Have you ever heard of that?
Yep.
Well, she was a PK, preacher's kid, and she was also the youngest in her large family of 12.
That's what
So she had been able to complete high school and business schools up in the state of Washington, where she grew up in Ritzville. And then after she came down here and had a couple of kids, my brother and myself, then she went back and pursued her education first at Sacramento City College and then Sac State.
Was your mom still alive when the school opened?
Yes, no, I'm sorry, very sorry. No, she was not alive when the school opened. She was alive when she was informed that the school was going to be dedicated to her. So she had the satisfaction of that.
How was the dragon in the school colors picked?
Well, I have a surprise for you guys. I believe I picked the dragon as a mascot.
Wow.
The school colors, I believe, followed the school colors of Sac State.
Nice. Was there a ceremony when the school opened, and did you attend that ceremony?
There certainly was. The ceremonies, at least in those days, were conducted by the Masonic Lodge, and they have a very formal process. You will notice in the front of the school, beside the flagpole, there is inset in the pavement. There a granite dedication stone that has certain specific information on it.
Thank you, Mr. Hans Feickert, for letting us interview you. I bet most of our viewers only knew who our school was named after, but that's about it. Thank you to Mr. Feickert for spending the afternoon with us and showing us around the farm.
Dragons, we are reaching the end of our video with our last few segments.
So, it's time for Joke Box!
These are some really funny jokes, so make sure to keep a little quiet in your classroom to hear the next joke.
Welcome
Back to this
week's
Joke Box!
first joke of the day. What's a hungry dragon's favorite day of the week?
What?
Tuesday.
How can you tell how much a dragon weighs?
How?
'Cause they come with scales. Why are dragons so good at storytelling?
Why?
Because they have great tails.
Well, that's all for us.
Bye, dragons!
Oh my gosh, who came up with those jokes? Those were pretty funny.
It's time for our last and final segment, Fabulous Faces of Feickert.
This is one of our best segments because we get to see kids from different classes and we also get to see our friends. Great job to all our field reporters and interviewers.
That's it for the news, Dragons. Let's remember dragons are kind,
Safe
and responsible. This is KFTV Dragon News signing off. That was fun. We hope we can keep doing fug.
Fug.
Keep doing fun.
Wait.
Alright, that's fine. You do the first one, and then I'll do something that you say let's remember, and then I'll
Okay, and then I'll do
time.